I got this story from my brother, Donnell. Hey, brother, hey, tell the family I said what's up.
Have you heard about the apartment complexes in Aurora being taken over by Venezuelan gangs? Well, that's not the real story.
Yeah, it's really not. But that doesn't stop some news stations from picking up a story and not fully following through and just reporting on bullshit.
And new at 10, it's scenes coming out of a movie as the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua are seen breaking into apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado. This is according to our sister station in Denver.
And I've heard Donald Trump go on the campaign trail and talk about what was going on in Aurora, allegedly.
The video has garnered the attention of former President Donald Trump, who has spoken about it on the campaign trail.
And we've got to be tough, because if you see what's happening in Aurora, Colorado today, did you see that? Where Venezuelan gang members have taken over parts of the city. They've taken over apartment houses.
And that's not the truth, now is it? Because as this lovely lady is about to explain, it's not about the migrants. It's about the apartments themselves.
Look at 1568 Nome Street to see what's really going on.
Some of the 85 families living in that apartment building gathered today along with community advocates asking for more time. They've been ordered out in 6 days. They're asking that they not be punished for the fact that the landlord allowed horrendous conditions to develop over years there.
The Venezuelan gang story is a racist dog whistle that right-wing Aurora City Council members are using to justify evicting families with super short notice and to run cover for the real culprit, the slumlord property owner.
Right. There are gangs, but the gang is not as large as Donald Trump and a lot of the right-wing media conservatives are saying it is. There is a gang problem, but the real problem is the landlord. They are slum landlords. They have poor water, poor heating, poor lighting. It's not really controlled by anyone. So people are living there pretty much in squalor and being told to pay more. So a health person came there and said that you guys can't live here because it's dilapidated. You can't live here. It's not healthy. So you have to get out. But the residents are saying, hey, we know that, but give us more time so we can find somewhere to live. And that's what the problem is.
This week, residents who live at the complex held a news conference saying they haven't seen a large-scale gang presence or a takeover.
Here, none of us feel threatened. We don't feel threatened by any gangs. We feel threatened by the owner of this apartment, who asks us constantly to pay a high rate.
Residents of the apartment complex said there are gangs, but they have not run into any members of the Tren de Aragua themselves.
And just to go deeper into the gang thing, reporters are saying they're talking to the police department of Aurora, Colorado, and listen to what the police are saying about the gang activity.
National correspondent Dan Grossman is looking into the story for us. Dan, what have you learned?
Marisa, police here in Aurora, Colorado tell us they do not believe that there is any gang takeover here at the Lowry Apartments, the Edge at Lowry Apartments, which are right behind me, as some on social media have purported.
Aurora police visited the site last Friday and said it is not under control of a gang. It did, however, say it made an unrelated arrest of a member of the TDA gang in its city last week. That man has been turned over to ICE officials.
And here is the Republican mayor of Aurora, Colorado, and let's hear what he has to say about this whole thing.
In a one-on-one interview with Scripps News Denver, the city's mayor, Mike Kaufman, a Republican, said he went to the apartment complex accompanied by members of the Aurora Police Department to see it for himself.
It seems that in some of those criminal elements have come up here, and that, for instance, Venezuela does not cooperate with the United States, with our immigration services when it comes to sharing criminal histories, so it's difficult to vet people at the border.
Kaufman has tiptoed around questions about the gang's presence, saying it appears the building is not being run by management. But when pressed on whether he has received confirmation from authorities on whether TDA is present, he has said he is not.
I think people are excited about that, it's a transnational gang. And, I'm obviously concerned about it, but, quite frankly, to me personally, what matters is we get these people off the street. In whatever affiliation they have, they're bad. I need them off the street.
So it's not the gangs, even though gangs are a problem, even though immigrant gangs or migrant gangs, whatever you want to call them, they are a problem. But that is not the problem in this instant. It's CBZ management. They're the issue.
If we want to talk about how we really got here, let's talk about CBZ Management, the owner of 1568 Nome and a bunch of other properties in the Denver area. Even the mayor called CBZ out-of-state slumlords. Evicted Nome Street families have filed a class action lawsuit against CBZ, which will be heard in court next week.
So when you have migrants, whether they're legal or not legal or going through the legal process or whatever status they may be in, and they're upset about the living conditions in their area, and the people that own the building don't like all the publicity because it's negative, what's the next best thing to get those people out of there? I know. Let's not fix up the place. Let's ramp up the rent and let's get the word out that gangs are controlling the neighborhood and gangs are tearing up the housing, and it's gangs, and it's immigrants, and it's migrant. Let's get the word out so that people will come out and say, we got to fix this. We got to clean up Colorado. And you get Donald Trump out there spouting whatever the hell he's spouting. It's just like the young lady said in the video. It's a racist trope designed to attack migrants who are doing everything by the book, and because other people of other skin colors don't like them, they're trying to do this to get them out of there. What do you think?